Behind every successful man is a woman, and behind every unsuccessful man, there are two. If you're watching this video, then you're probably a young man. And of course, you've got lots of testosterone, your hormones are going crazy, so let's face it, you want to fuck a lot. But if you're not careful, that same high sex drive will actually ruin your life. It will ruin you emotionally, physically, and ruin your ability to become a successful man, to make more money, to be charismatic, to have awesome fulfilling relationships, and to just enjoy your life, to be proud of who you became and what you accomplished when you're on your deathbed. I sincerely believe that for young men, semen retention is probably one of the most important things if you want to succeed. The reason for that is simple. That sexual energy we have, it's at the center of life. Everything derives from it. You and I wouldn't be here today if two people at some point didn't decide to, do the thing. So every time you waste that precious energy, that life energy, on meaningless things, like especially pixels on a screen, what happens then? Well, that's the thing. Nothing happens. You just have no more energy, and then you can't do any of the things which you need to do to reach your goals and become the successful man you want to be. Excessive porn and masturbation leads to so much dopamine that, let's face it, you didn't have to earn. You just opened up your browser, you typed something you wanted to watch in the incognito tab, and that's it, you did your thing. I mean, let's face it, how many guys jerk off and watch porn before they go to sleep? A ton of guys do it every single night because they can't fall asleep if they don't do it. That's the thing with any addiction. At first, you do it because it feels good, it makes you feel better, you like it. But then, you fall into that vicious trap, that negative feedback loop of having to do it more and more to keep feeling the same effect as you first did. For example, with caffeine, at first you might drink 1 cup of coffee and you feel amazing, you feel energized. But then, once your body gets used to that dose of caffeine, it becomes tolerant, resistant to it. And so now, to feel that same boost of energy and productivity, you need to drink 2 cups. And then your body adjusts again. And now you need to drink 3, 4, 5. And at some point, you literally pass out because you drink so much damn caffeine. Now, it's a pretty extreme example. I'm not saying you shouldn't drink coffee. I drink lots of tea myself. However, that's how anything can become pretty dangerous. In reality, everything is dangerous. If you drink too much water, you're literally going to have massive health issues. You're going to die. I know it sounds crazy, but everything can kill you. I know this because my mother worked as a nursing assistant. She was literally dealing with patients who drank way too much, and they would literally die for some of them. Because they couldn't stop themselves, it was a compulsion. And it's much easier to get addicted to watching porn and jerking off than it is to drinking water, so that makes it more dangerous. Sugar is a drug too, technically. They've done plenty of studies where they gave rats the choice between having some cocaine and having some sugar. And then they would look at the rat's brain activity and see how it compared, whether they were having one substance or the other. And what's crazy is that they found that a lot of the time, the rats much preferred to go and have sugar as opposed to cocaine or cannabis. That is insane. So the problem is, now you have to fap multiple times a week, watch more and more fucked up porn to get off, and then in real life, if you do have a partner, you can't even get it hard, because now your brain doesn't even know what's real and what's not. It only gets turned on by the most fucked up shit that you see online, or by all these weird specific fantasies or certain body parts. I mean, seriously, bro, how do people develop a foot fetish other than just by watching porn? I mean, I just don't know. So what we need to do is to rewire your brain so that now it craves doing the hard things that you need to do to become a successful man and reach your goals. And if you're wondering like, okay, that's the first time I'm seeing you, why should I listen to you tell me about being a successful man? I've achieved a few things in my life. First, I built an online business that's made me thousands of dollars per day in profit. If you want me to teach you how I've been able to do this, so maybe you can do the same by selling online courses and high-ticket programs, check out the links in the description below when you're done watching this. The other thing I've been able to achieve is I've been able to build the physique of my dreams. Now right now, I don't look as huge as I normally do. Because of a few injuries, I haven't been able to work out at the gym in 6 months. But back then I was pretty skinny, at some point I was pretty out of shape, and then I was able to build this very strong physique and I've been able to see my abs. Just check my Instagram if you want to see pics of me lifting heavy shit. The username is Fred Moten, so literally just my name, all in one word. And then I've been able to build real relationships with actual human beings, instead of just spending all my time behind the screen all the time. And I've also been able to overcome my social anxiety. At some point, dude, it was so bad, I couldn't even leave my parents' house just to go for a walk in the neighborhood. Like, do you realize how pathetic this is? I couldn't even pick up the phone to book an appointment with my hairdresser. Like, what the hell? How pathetic do you have to be in that kind of position? I was like a scared, anxious little boy. And I know why I was like that now looking back. I went through so much shit in my life you wouldn't believe, So then it conditioned my brain to see everything as a potential threat. Even if it was just going for a walk outside or booking a hairdresser appointment. Like, what's the worst case scenario? What would have happened that would be so bad? They might just say, oh, we're closed. Okay, wow, they weren't gonna assault me. A ton of guys are afraid of just going and asking a girl out, for example. But really, what's the worst case scenario, bro? She's telling you no, maybe. Or that she's not interested. Maybe she even laughs. Whatever. I mean, if anything, use that as fuel to work harder, become better, and meet better people. People who are not going to laugh at you for trying. It's all a perspective in life. What happens itself doesn't really matter. It's how you choose to view it. People with a fucking victim mentality, people who love to hate everything, they never succeed. But people like you and me, people who value things that matter, people who aren't afraid to try, people who get knocked down 1,000 times and who get up 1,001 times, those are the people who win. Sexual transmutation, which is the practice of channeling your sexual creative energy into your goals, whether it be fitness goals, money goals, relationship goals, even personal goals like hobbies, etc. This is one of the most powerful things you could ever do. Let's do a little experiment. On one day, let's say Monday, you start your day by waking up early, you go to the gym, and then you do some deep work on your business. You will be very productive, right? And then the other day, on Tuesday, we continue to experiment. Except this time, we're gonna wake up at 10 a.m., we're gonna watch a movie, we're gonna watch porn and jerk off, and then we're gonna try and work and go to the gym. Let's be honest, you won't do the work, you won't go to the gym, because you will have no more energy after doing all this crap. The truth is we can't do everything, especially alone. You only have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of energy every single day. So you have to use that time and that energy wisely. And if you waste it all the time, especially if you do it every single day, on pixels on a screen, I mean, what comes out of it? Just wasted time, wasted energy, and killed dreams and goals. So many people are buried with their goals and dreams. It's the saddest thing ever. You only have this one life. Maybe we have other lives. I don't fucking know. No one knows what comes after death. So why wouldn't you live as though this life is your one and only? Why wouldn't you take risks while you still can? What's the worst that's gonna happen to you? People are so afraid of losing a bit of money, they should be afraid of losing time. You're never gonna get your time back. Whereas money, it's infinite. You can make as much of it as you want. So don't be stupid. Don't be afraid to start a business or invest in yourself or ask someone else. Because your time, you will never get it back. You'll never be 20 years old all over again. It only happens once. Now most guys, they try to quit porn and excessive masturbation, but they quit and they fail for one reason. They focus only on the tactics. Like on the nofap timeline or whatever. Or they have all these site blockers so they can't go and watch the porn. But I mean, to be honest, they get an urge, so they just remove the extension and then they go watch porn. So it really doesn't do anything. What most guys forget is their why. If you don't have a strong enough reason why you're going to fight this nasty bad habit that's ingrained in you now, you're going to fail the fight. You wouldn't walk into a battlefield with no preparation, would you? With no training whatsoever. You'd get fucking killed by the opponent. So why would you do that with your goals? Why would you walk into like the arena with no preparation, no training? Of course you're gonna fail. That's being stupid, bro. So I don't care how long it takes you. Today or this week, grab a notebook, a piece of paper, go outside like in a park or something, somewhere inspiring, or maybe just in your room. Close the windows, close the doors. If you want to listen to music without lyrics. And not music that's going to influence your emotions, like some epic battle music, whatever. Just take some time with yourself in silence and ask yourself, why do I want to quit? How is it ruining my life? Because you have to show yourself how bad it is. If you think, oh, it's just okay, whatever, you're not gonna change. From my experience, change only ever happens when the pain of staying the same is much, much, much stronger than the pain of change. Because changing is painful. We don't like change. Because change is the unknown, and the unknown brings potential threats. At least, that's how our prehistoric brain sees it, even to this day. As human beings, we won't really work that hard to gain something positive. However, we will work extremely hard to not lose something we're attached to. People are always going to do so much more to avoid feeling pain rather than to go out and feel happiness. For example, you wouldn't really go out of your way to buy your dream home, but you would work extremely hard to not lose your current home because you can't afford to lose it, now that you have it. And then, at the end of the day, you have to realize life is a big choice. In fact, it's a continuation of multiple choices, and the worst thing you could possibly do, if you're an ambitious man, you want to be successful, you've got your idea of a dream life and you want to make it happen, the worst thing you could possibly do is end up like 99% of people. And how do you end up like 99% of people? By thinking and acting like 99% of people. By not having the balls to say, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with the corporate slavery that this world is trying to push all of us into, I want to go my own way. I want to build my own business. I want to look great, feel great. That's what I want. Instead, you don't have the balls to tell your parents, no, I don't want to be a fucking doctor. I want to be rich doing something that I love, sharing my passion with the world. Your 20s are like the testing ground of your life. They're the most important part. So many people are going to follow the wrong people, the wrong influences, marry the wrong person, choose the wrong career. And then they're fucked. They're going to have a kid when they're too young to have a kid and they can't even provide for the damn kid. So instead of wasting your 20s like 99% of people and then spending the rest of your life with responsibilities that hold you back from pursuing your dreams and your goals, or just living this life that you hate, living paycheck to paycheck and now you can't escape, instead, use your 20s to build, make smart choices, build a business, work on yourself, read, meditate, get healthier, learn new skills, make social media content, build a personal brand. And if you do this, by the time you reach 30 years old, you won't be in the top 1%, physically, mentally, and financially, spiritually too. And then, people will look at you, envy you, and say you got fucking lucky. Let these people laugh. Let the haters hate. Now, if you want me to mentor you, you want me to show you how I've built the online business that's made me thousands of dollars per day in profit in my early 20s, selling online courses and high-ticket programs, click the first link in the description below. There you'll be able to fill out a form to apply for a consultation call with me. If we're a good fit, you'll get the chance to join my premium mentorship program where I'm going to hold your hand until you get to 10K per month in profit. Since I do this myself, there are very few spots available and I don't know for how long I'm going to keep making this offer. So claim your spot before it's too late. And with that said, I'll see you on the other side.